Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Hadidi Makeovers. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, and if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. We do tutorials, turban, makeup and all that. Yeah guys, so for today's look we are going to be doing a full Nigerian bridal makeup. This video is going to be a very long one. I'm going to be gisting you guys firstly, and secondly I want to make sure this video is going to be as detailed as possible. Most of you are complaining I don't really tell you guys how to do this. You don't know the reason why I'm doing that and all that. So for this video it's going to be almost like, is it 27 minutes? I don't know how many minutes long it's going to be, but this video is sure going to be very long. So guys, hope you guys are ready. So let's get started. So as you can see, I started off by cleaning her face, making sure I used wipes. Definitely my hands are sanitized, guys. I used a micellar water, like the face toner. The reason why we use face toner is to make sure the skin is well hydrated. And my model Khadija here, her skin is very, very dry. So I will not be using anything dry on her skin, from the prepping to the foundation to the powder. I'm going to be making sure her skin is well hydrated so that the makeup sits pretty and perfectly on her skin. So on my Instagram, you guys always say you don't know how I do my skin work, that it looks like skin. I do get DMs every other day on how I do my skin work. So I'm going to be very detailed on this video. So I want you guys to listen and then watch this video to the very end of it. So let's get started. So I already said, first of all, I started with cleansing her face using the micellar cleansing water. It's also more like a toner. You can use rose water for that. You can use let me say, I just use this micellar cleansing water from the Simple Cosmetics line. So yeah, after that I used the Cetaphil moisturizer. You know, it's an oil-free moisturizer. You can use it both on dry and oily skin. So I find that Cetaphil moisturizer working very, very nice on both dry and oily skin. So yeah, I'm going to be spraying her face. Can you see that? After the toner, I went in with the moisturizer, and then next I went in with my Kiss Beauty setting spray. Guys, I know you can use rose water too for the spraying, but I love it when the skin is well hydrated. You want to make sure the skin is hydrated. I've been emphasizing on this hydrating thing for a very long time, if you've been watching my videos. So yeah, I hydrated her skin already. I used the setting spray on her skin. Before it dries up, I'm going to be going in with the beauty blender so that the moisturizer, the toner and also the setting spray sits perfectly. So yeah, so I'm going to be using this we'll be starting with the brows first. So I'm going to be using this random brow tint I got, and I've been finding it very, very good to work with. I just bought it. I think I bought it for 1,000 naira, and it's available at the studio actually. So guys, I don't draw my brows again. I find this technique very easy. So what I normally do is, if I'm drawing the brows, I'll just go over the hair with the brow tint. This new beauty something, it says beauty fashion on, is it? I can't remember the name of the brow tint, but I went in with the Beauty Line by Didi brow pencil just to outline the outer part of the brows. That's after filling her brows with the brow tint. Can you see that? I just outlined like the outer part of her brows so that we can have a defined shape on the outer part of her brows rather. So I'm using the LA Girl I'm using the LA Girl concealer in the shade Fawn. I'll be using that to clean out her brows. Guys, you want to make sure the line effect, that's the line between the brows and the concealer, you want to achieve a very straight line along that side, that part of the face rather. That is where like you are allowed to leave a line on a makeup. Like that part of under the brows is where you want to make sure it shows like this is a line there. You want to make sure your brows are perfectly drawn. And after applying my concealer, I'm going to be using this fluffy blending brush just to blend out the concealer. You want to make sure you get that right, guys. You want to make sure of that, because this the blending of this concealer, if it's too much under the brows, it gets creased up, and when you apply your eyeshadow, everything just looks it breaks like in 30 to 1 hour. You don't want that to happen. 30 minutes to 1 hour, you don't want that to happen. So yeah, I'm going to be doing the same thing to the upper part of the brows using the same concealer shade I used for the lower part. That's the LA Girl concealer in the shade Fawn. I'll be cleaning out our brows. I know the brows are not straight yet, but I'm going to be making sure that happens now. So yeah, you want to make sure you zoom out, you look at the person either through the mirror or you move backwards a little bit so that you can see the shape of the brows very well. So guys, you need to watch these videos to the end. Anytime I post a video, you're going to be picking 1 or 2 new things there. Even me, I've been researching, I've been going like for upgrades. That's how everything gets better. This is not how I do my makeup before. I do change my system and my style. So guys, you have to be very, very good in updating whatever it is that you're doing. So I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade Warm, that's 109, and also in the shade Deep in 110. Sorry, yeah. Like when I was blending the foundation, my battery went off, so you couldn't see where I was. You will not be seeing where I was blending the foundation or where I blended the foundation. So English is hard, guys. So what I did was I blended the foundation, then I'm going to go in with the same LA Girl concealer I used in cleaning her brows to highlight her face, like on the high points of her face. That's under her eyes, the bridge of her nose, her chin, and also on her forehead. That's the LA Girl concealer in the shade Fawn. I'll be using that. So to make her under eyes a little bit brighter, if you can see, the concealer is a little bit closer to her skin tone. I want to make sure the inner part of her, under part of her eyes is a little bit brighter. So I'm going to be going in with this Adventure Makeup concealer in the shade Light. Yeah, I think it's in the shade Light. So I'm going to be applying that under her eyes just to give it a little bit boost. I want the under eyes to be a little bit brighter. So using my soft beauty blender, I'll start by blending the outer part of the face and then work my way through inside the inner part of the face, so under the eyes rather. And then yeah guys, you want to make sure you blend very perfectly. You don't want to blend and the outer part of your, so you want to make sure you blend properly. Blending is key, guys. The outer part of your highlight, you want to make sure you blend into the foundation. Can you see what I'm talking, what I'm telling you guys about? Like her skin looks like she's having water on it, or is it like her skin looks like it's shiny and all that? It's because of the hydration, guys. The foundation is just melting into her skin. That is the secret behind hydrating, guys. You need to hydrate, most especially if the person is having dry skin. This works perfectly. So I'm going to be spraying her face more again. Like I have to spray her face, guys. Her skin is a very dry skin, so I'm trying as much as possible. I don't want it to be flaky and everything should not look good. So So yeah, so moving on, before you set your powder, like apply the setting powder, I like to make sure I blend under the eyes first, then I will go in with my powder under the eyes just to set my concealer, and then I'll be going in with my setting powder. Can you see? I'm just trying to blend out the crease. You don't want the eyes to crease up later, like 30 minutes or 20 minutes after your makeup. So to avoid that, you want to make sure you blend the under eyes very well. So you want to make sure you do that. And yeah, let me blend. I'm going to be applying a darker shade on the side of her nose. Guys, I told you I don't do cream contour, but I've been trying to get used to that cream contour thing and it's not working out. So I'll just keep going on with my powder contour, but I'll still keep practicing to see if I'll get better with the cream contour thing. So yeah. After I'm done with contouring the side of her nose, you want to make sure you use your setting powder immediately after you are done setting under the eyes rather. I'm going to be applying the setting powder using a beauty sponge, like a wedge. I'll be applying that under her eyes. So I'm using the sponge setting powder. Somebody was asking me on my comment section on what shade of setting powder I'm using. This is my first pack of sponge setting powder, so I never knew. I tried checking the back of my setting powder to see what shade is that, because I know other brands of setting powder do have different shades of their powder. So I don't know what shade of setting powder is this, because actually what happened was I used sellotape under the powder and like under the container, so when I was peeling it off, I peeled the label off. So I don't really know what shade I'm using. I just knew this works for me on a dark, light and all skin, so I think this should be in a medium shade. So I'm going to be setting the outer part of her skin using her shade of powder, the Lady V Planets Powder Cosmetics. This powder is so good, guys. Like, I love that shiny bronzy shade it gives. Yeah, so I'm going to be setting her face using that. Then we move on to the eyes. So after I'm done setting her face, I'm going to be going in with the Benai Clown White Eye Primer. I'll be using that on her crease. Like, I'm using this fluffy brush, let me not say fluffy, a blending brush rather. I'm going to be applying it all over her crease, not too much, guys. You don't want to apply too much primer, and then later on your eyeshadow tends to your eyeshadow will just start creasing, so you want to avoid that. And this Clown White Eye Primer goes a very long way. Like, I just dipped into the eye primer like this, and it's working on both eyes. Can you see that? So I'm going to be using my other blending brush to blend out any creasing up like that. Before you apply your eyeshadow, you want to make sure you blend and blend, guys. Blending is key, I'm telling you guys. So I'll be using the Ezekiel X Lydia Stanley eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette is bomb, guys. Like, this eyeshadow palette gives me joy whenever I'm about to use it. I'll be using a burnt orange and a little bit of a dark brown shade to do her contour. First of all, I'll be applying the transitioning. You want to make sure the shade you're using for your contour is darker than the one you use for your transitioning. So all the shades I'm using are matte eyeshadows, guys. The eyeshadow that looks more like powder, it's called the matte eyeshadow. For those of you that don't know, the powdery is it powdery or powder eyeshadow? The one that looks like powder that doesn't have shimmer in it is called It's called the matte eyeshadow, so you want to use that as your blending machine. Yeah, so I'll be using this small Real Technique brush just to apply my contour. I used the orange shade first, and then I went in with the darker brown shade on the outer part of her eyes. So I will be using the blending brush again just to blend out my eye primer, and then I'll be going in with this into my eyeshadow palette, the Whatever Forever eyeshadow palette from Maybelline New York. I'll be using this eyeshadow on her crease, like the peach shade on her crease. Then I'll be going in with the dark brown shade again just to further make my contour, the eye contour, look a little bit deeper. You want the shape of the eyes to pop, guys. So after that, I'm going to be going in with a light orange shade just to blend out the ash lines on her crease. So guys, can you see how blended? Like, this is why you blend the eyes. You don't want any harsh lines. You don't want the darker color looking lighter than you don't want the darker color looking on its own, stain on its own. Like, I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but yeah, I'm going to be using powder to soften the whole eye makeup just to make it look a little bit softer. And then the magic starts here, guys. I'll be going in with the traceable pigment. I don't know what shade this is in, but it's an orangey, golden, and a peachy shade, all in 3 colors. I'll be using my fluffy brush, that's my eyeshadow brush. I'll just be touching a little bit of a damp wipes, and then I'll dip into my pigment and then place on the eyes. And this works perfectly for me. I don't use glue, guys. I don't use glue to apply pigment. I do use only my brush and my wet wipes. So yeah, I'm going to be doing this, and then I'll be going into my mascara, the 3D, is it the 6XD Max mascara, the Compact Max mascara, Mega Impact mascara. I'll be using this mascara all over her lashes to take off the fallout, and then I'll use that to make her lashes look more longer. I think that's it. So after that, I'm going to be going into my Ezekiel eyeliner. I don't know why I don't like applying eyeliner on camera, but I'll try as much as possible to start doing that maybe on my next video. I'll be going in with the eyelashes from Wink Lashes. This lashes is from Wink Lashes. It's in Give Them. I love this lashes so much, like it works perfectly. That's after applying my upper and lower eyeliner using the Ezekiel eyeliner gel. I'll be going into this lashes. Can you see how beautiful her lashes are looking like? Wow. So I'm done with the other eyes. Boom. Yeah, so let's move on to the lips. So before starting her lips, I'm going to be going in with the Get Gorgeous Real Technique bronzer highlighter. Somebody corrected me the other day. It's not called bronzer. The bronzer is the darker one you use for contouring. So this is called the highlighter. I'll be going into the highlighter from the Get Gorgeous Technique highlighter. I'll be applying that on her cupid bow, and then going into my random brow gel. I'll be using that to line her lips, the lower and the upper part of her lips. I want to make sure the lips gives me a little ombre look, like the ombre effect. I love it when you do ombre effect. So yeah, so I'm going to be lining this first, then I'll go into my Zaron orange shade lip gloss, not lip gloss, lip stain in the shade Bond. That's the orangey shade. I'll be doing that now, and then after applying that, I'll be going into the shade in let's see what comes next. This is the shade in Bond, the orangey shade. I'll be blending that. It's in the Zara Max Sheen. I think this is their dry lip stain. So I'll be applying that all over her lips, including the upper and the lower part. I'll be blending that so that it gives us the brown and the orangey ombre effect. And then I'll go into my classic makeup lipstick in the shade Cocoa Bean, just to further lighten the lips, to give us the peachy shade we want to achieve. So after blending the lower and the upper part, I'm going to be going in with the House of Tara Dual Lip Gloss in Tejiri. I'll be using the lighter the lighter shade, that's the light peach shade. I'll be using that on the inner part. So I felt the Tejiri is not giving me the shiny effect, so I decided to go into the Zaron lip gloss again, the Max Sheen lip gloss from Zaron. The shade is in Seashell. I'll be applying that on her lips again. So let's see how this turns out, guys. So as you can see, the House of Tara lips is not giving me the glassy effect I wanted. So I just went into the Zaron lips in Seashell lip gloss in Seashell. Can you see it? So I'll be applying that on top of her lips again, just to get that glossy and glittery effect I wanted. Can you see the difference? Yeah, guys. So yeah, let's move on. So who likes my model? She has forever been my model, guys. Her name is Khadija. So let's move on. After that, I'm going to be going in with the Girls Night Out blush palette from the Lady V Planet Cosmetics. I'll be applying that all over her cheeks. The peachy shade, guys, the peachy and the orangey shade, that was what I was using. So okay, God, English is harder. So I'm going to be applying that all over her cheeks, and then I'll be going into the powder palette to blend, to take off the setting powder. So can you see, adding this blush to her face makes it look more like, can you see how beautiful my model is looking? So let's move on. I'll be going into her shade of powder, and also this very finishing powder from the Lady V Planet Cosmetics that looks like the MAC powder. Like, it has a bit of highlighter in it. So I'll be going into the shade and then take off her setting powder and set the whole thing together. So guys, for this video, I'm going to be ending this video very soon. For the turban tutorial, I'll be dropping it on Thursday. As you can see, we tied 2 gele here on this, like 2 bridal gele on this video. So one of them is already up on my channel. You don't expect me to shoot 2 gele styles on the same channel. So yeah, I'm going to be dropping that tutorial very soon on Thursday, like the other tutorial of the other gele tutorial rather. Before that, let's clean under her eyes. I'm redefining her eyes using the Mabruk Mabruk liquid eyeliner, just to give it that very detailed black eyeliner gel effect that we all wanted to see whenever you're done with your bridal makeup. So yeah, can you see that? I'll be going in with the highlighter again on her cheeks, the bridge of her nose, her forehead, and also on her chin, just to give her that glowy bridal look we all wanted to see. So for the tutorial, you guys, I'm going to be ending the videos now. So if you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, share, and also comment. And also for my new families here, you're welcome to the family. Please subscribe. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers, guys. We are hustling for that 10,000 subscribers. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Guys, I love you guys so much. I don't know what I would do without you guys. So this is Hadidi Makeovers once again. Please watch out on Thursday for the new turban tutorial, the new bridal turban tutorial I'm going to be dropping on Thursday. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.